I think it's just the beginning of crypto winter, to be very honest. And I am very surprised that people are expecting that it's going to continue to hover around 30K. I do expect it to go down to somewhere between 14K, 18K, maybe 22K as a stable point. But remember, we have seen this in the past two times. This is nothing new, right? Every time it goes up to an all time high, there is a point when it comes down to and find a new lower point as a base point to stand around. I still feel that we have already entered crypto winter. We're going to stay here for at least year to year and a half. And I don't believe that Bitcoin is going to go back to 45, 50 or 60K for another.
Welcome back to another episode, people. Something big is about to happen. I just stumbled on a shocking piece of news over the internet, as always, from which I can tell many shady things have been happening and are still happening behind the scenes, yet we never caught a glimpse of it. Here it says, breaking, Ripple has been meeting with the SEC since 2013 about XRP and has not been told once that XRP could be a security. Wow, guys, this is excellent news. Golden, truly golden for Ripple's earlier filed fair notice defense. Here's another one, this one from this Twitter user NerdNation Unbox, and it reads, the same day the SEC announces the lawsuit against Ripple, they announce Dalia Blas is leaving the SEC. Nothing is coincidence. The same day the SEC filed the lawsuit against Ripple Labs alongside the company's executives, an SEC commissioner resigned. So what does this all tell you? Still need some clues? Well, let's keep going. Who is Dalia Blas? And why does her resignation come the same day the SEC lawsuit was filed? What connection does this have to the ongoing lawsuit, and how does it further bolster Ripple's fair notice defense? This is what we'll be looking at throughout this video. But before that, let's get into what's happening in the market. We have this report from Crypto News. Even Christine Lagarde's son doesn't listen to her warnings about crypto. As her son bucked mommy's warnings and invested in the digital asset, this might just be the only direct hint he'd be getting from an elite. If this doesn't say it all, I don't know what else would. But for now, hit that subscribe button, don't forget to hit that notification bell as well, and always check the description section for some useful links. So, even Christine Lagarde's son doesn't listen to her warnings about crypto. Speaking during an episode of the long-running Dutch TV talk show College Tour, which aired on Sunday, Christine Lagarde, the president of the European Central Bank, hinted at her worries regarding the asset class, saying, what worries me about crypto is that people who don't realize they can lose everything are investing in it. I worry about people who assume crypto investments will pay off, who don't know the risks, who will lose everything and will be very disappointed. That's why I think it should be regulated. But hidden within that story is a telltale approval, as the ECB chief went on to inform that regardless of her opinions about crypto, her son ditched her advice and invested in these digital assets. And she added, he's a free man. Guys, is that a subtle hint? Well, for what it's worth, I take that as a yes. It is a subtle reminder that although the elites do not outrightly reveal their crypto portfolio, they instead constantly advise against it. However, their kins and relatives are deeply rooted in its operations, so don't be deceived. This might be your best chance to get in at its cheapest. This one here says crypto winter is here and might last over a year, says blockchain fund founder. Speaking during an interview with Bloomberg Technology, Delta blockchain fund founder Kavita Gupta stated that the crypto winter is similar to previous price movements, mainly after Bitcoin attained a new all-time high, and has said that the current crypto market correction that steered in the winter season might last over a year. In her words, I think it's just the beginning of crypto winter. We're going to stay here for at least a year and a half. I don't believe that Bitcoin is going back to $45,000, $50,000, or $60,000 for another year and a half. I'm very surprised that people are expecting that Bitcoin is going to continue to hover around $30,000. I do expect it to go down to somewhere between $14,000, said Gupta. Despite the crypto winter, Gupta noted that Bitcoin and the rest of these other cryptocurrencies would still hit another record high, even though that would be highly unlikely until over a year from now. In other news, we have FTX starts gaming unit to promote crypto adoption. And this was released on February 21st, to be precise, and it further hints there are 2 billion plus gamers in the world who've played with and collected digital items and can now also own them. So guys, what is this talk about the shady things happening? Well, it's none other than the event that has the SEC filing a lawsuit against Ripple Labs, calling it unregistered securities, and not only that, but also filing a lawsuit against its top two executives, its CEO Brad Garlinghouse and executives chair Christopher Larson, for knowing this, yet not taking heed and going ahead with the sale of the securities asset, or XRP, to raise $1.3 billion. So what does this tweet from Nerd Nation Unbox indicate? Dalia Osman-Blas was named U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's Director of the Division of Investment Management from September 2017 through January 2021. Before that, Ms. Blas had previously served in several leadership positions in the division, and before that, during her time in the private sector, she'd practiced corporate law in New York and London. During her time as the Director of the Investment Management Division at the SEC, Dalia Blas was in charge of advising the SEC on matters related to investment funds, private equity, and regulatory issues. Getting back to how it all connects, at the time of filing the lawsuit against Ripple, my best guess is that Dalia Blas, who was in charge of advising the Commission on such matters, must have advised the SEC under Chairman Jay Clayton's regime against going ahead with a lawsuit, just like her other colleagues like Joseph Grunfest, Elad Roisman, and especially Hester Pierce had earlier warned against. But the adamant Jay Clayton, bolstered by the uncanny wits of then Director of Corporation Finance William Hinman, refused to let go, given their underlying interests if Ripple were to go down. On the said day, the SEC filed a charge against Ripple. It also published Dalia Blas to conclude tenure as Director of the Division of Investment Management. As you can see, this was published on December 22nd, 2022. The Securities and Exchange Commission today announced that Dalia Blas, Director of the Division of Investment Management, will depart the SEC in January. And up top, it says, under Director Blas's leadership, the division undertook numerous initiatives benefiting Main Street investors. And down below, it says, under her leadership, the division finalized more than 70 regulatory initiatives affecting investment companies and investment advisors. Could it be that this engaging SEC director, who had nothing but the interests of investors at heart, had a conflict of ideas with other high-ranking personnel at the SEC following the Commission's in-house deliberations to file a lawsuit against Ripple? It seems that that is most likely the case. And now we have the SEC doubling its enforcement unit, adding 20 new member positions to it. Since its announcement, the news has raised growing concerns. The people, the Congress, and just about everybody are asking the SEC for a reason behind that decision. It's unclear why the SEC would neglect other pressing issues only to expand its enforcement branch. Why have the U.S. financial regulators announced their plans to reinforce its crypto division instead of addressing the 40,000-pound elephant in the room by providing a clear-cut regulatory framework? I don't know. What I do know is that Ripple, on the other hand, has revamped its website. And even of greater interest is the fintech startup relocating its headquarters within the US. We already know Ripple had earlier talked about relocating its headquarters based out of the US to somewhere in Europe with a clear-cut regulatory framework, like in the UK, as hinted by the CEO a few years back. However, they couldn't get themselves to do that, maybe for the love of country or some other reason. News from this website, BizJournals, report that Ripple is moving its headquarters from its 16-story high-rise at 315 Montgomery Street to a historic building at 600 Battery Street in the Jackson Square neighborhood, closer to San Francisco's Embarcadero, according to a spokesperson. Given my very brief experience, when a company or corporation makes such moves, it only means one thing. It's getting ready for an expansive growth. And if the US poses further threats to the decacorn firm, I think the wise decision would be to relocate to the UK or any other jurisdiction with less stringent crypto regulations like the Cayman Islands, where Binance operates from, as I'm sure Ripple can afford it. Or maybe postpone any relocation plans until it's sure what the US financial lawmakers would pass as the final verdict in the ongoing lawsuit. But that's it for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, we'll see you in the next video.